Who are you, really? It's a simple question, but the answer is anything but simple. Every day, we try to understand others, but rarely do we turn inward to understand ourselves. Your thoughts, emotions, fears, and dreams, within them lies the truth of who you are. The Stoics believe that a person who does not understand themselves can never make a truly free decision. In today's video, we'll explore 7 powerful and thought-provoking lessons that will guide you toward knowing yourself with the clarity, calm, and confidence of a true Stoic. This is more than just a motivational video. It's a mirror that will reflect your truest self. So make sure you watch till the very end, because this might just change how you see your entire life. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with others, so they too can begin the journey of understanding themselves. Now, let's begin. Number 1, silence reveals your true self. This world runs on noise. Social media screams, newsfeeds scream, everyone around you is busy talking. What you wear, what you eat, where you go, there's always an opinion waiting. And in all that noise, your own voice gets lost. But remember this, your true self never shouts. It speaks softly, deeply. And to hear it, you must become silent. The Stoics believed silence is strength. Not the absence of sound, but the presence of clarity. Silence isn't weakness. It's the language of the self-aware. It's the space where you meet your deepest truths. Many of us don't know who we are, not because we're incapable of understanding ourselves, but because we never give ourselves the time to listen. Turn off the phone for a moment. Sit quietly by a window. And you'll realize, there's a whole world inside you, far bigger than the one outside. In that world, there are no filters. There's no audience, no pressure, no masks. There's just you, raw, honest, real. And when you're truly quiet, the voices you've buried begin to speak. The voice of desire says, "This is what I truly want." The voice of pain whispers, "This still hurts me." And somewhere deep within, the voice of your strength says, "You are not finished yet." Do you know why most people fear silence? Because in silence, the masks fall off. You can't pretend when you're alone. There's no one left to impress. You're just you. And that's the moment you begin to discover who you really are. Marcus Aurelius once wrote in his private journal, "Withdraw into yourself. Especially when you are forced to be around people. You'll find no retreat more peaceful. When the outer world drains you, your inner stillness becomes your sanctuary. In that quiet place, you don't escape life, you meet it." So here's what you do today. Create a moment of silence. Put the phone away, close the screen, breathe in, and be still. The person you're searching for isn't out there. They've been waiting for you, right here, within. The journey to understanding yourself be. Number 2, if you want to understand yourself, look at your habits, because that's who you really are. Who am I? What kind of person am I, really? These are deep questions. But most people look for the answer in mirrors, zodiac signs, or in the words of others. The Stoics had a better approach. If you truly want to understand yourself, look closely at your daily habits. Because what you do every single day, that's who you really are. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, used to reflect on his actions every night. He would ask himself, "What did I do today? Are my actions shaping me into a wise, disciplined, and virtuous man?" He understood that thoughts can lie, but habits never do. Your habits are your truest reflection. Think about this, when you're alone, when no one is watching, what do you do? Do you work towards your goals, or do you lose yourself in endless scrolling? Do you control your anger, or let your emotions explode? These small, daily behaviors silently shape your identity. Epictetus once said, "Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it." In other words, your beliefs don't matter unless they show up in how you live. We all hold ideal images of ourselves. I'm a good person. I'm hardworking. I'm responsible. But here's the uncomfortable question: do your habits prove those claims, or are they just wishful thinking? To the Stoics, self-understanding means being honest about what's really happening, not what you hope is happening. And your habits? They're the most honest mirror you have. So if you want to know, who am I? Don't look in the mirror. Look at what you consistently do when no one's watching. Look at what you choose to repeat. Start today. Like Marcus Aurelius, take a few minutes every night to write down what you did, how you acted, what you focused on. Be honest. No filters, no excuses. This habit alone can unlock a deeper level of self-awareness than any book or test. To understand yourself, you must be brave enough to face your truth. And your truth is not what you say about yourself. It's what you repeat every day. So next time you wonder, who am I? Don't ask the mirror. Ask your habits, because they are the shadow of your soul. Number 3, your greatest fear holds your greatest lesson. If you truly want to understand yourself, don't just look at your strengths, look at your fears. What you avoid the most often hides the key to your self-realization. In Stoic philosophy, fear is not just an emotion, it's a boundary between who you are and who you could become. It's a silent gatekeeper that stands right where the truth about you begins. Your deepest fear is often the clearest mirror of your inner identity. Think about it, maybe you avoid speaking up because you're afraid of being judged. You're paralyzed by what others might say or think. But the Stoics believed, if you're constantly living in the shadow of others' opinions, then you haven't yet met yourself. That fear isn't weakness, it's a signal that you haven't fully accepted who you are. Or maybe you fear failure. You hesitate to try new things, not because you can't, but because the thought of failing crushes you. This shows you're trapped in an outcome-based mindset, not a process-based life. And that's where the Stoics step in and remind us. Focus on effort, not results. Epictetus said, "It's not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them." Fear is not an enemy, it's a distorted interpretation. It's a creation of past experiences, societal pressures, and a lack of self-trust. But here's the truth. Looking at your fear is looking into yourself. Don't run from it, walk up to it and ask. Why are you here? What truth are you trying to show me? In that moment, you don't just change your mindset, you transform your identity. Behind your biggest fear often lies your greatest growth. There's a version of you on the other side of that fear. A version who is more honest, more grounded, and more free. So if you want to understand yourself, don't just look at your strengths. Look into the places where you feel discomfort, shame, or doubt. Because the Stoics would say, you'll never truly know yourself unless you face what scares you most. Number 4, solitude is the laboratory of self-knowledge. You will never truly understand yourself until you learn to be alone with yourself. Solitude, which we often associate with weakness, sadness, or failure, was seen by the Stoics as the most sacred space for personal growth. Epictetus once said, "Only when you are alone can you hear your soul speak." And at the heart of that truth lies one powerful message. To hear your own voice, you must first escape the noise of the world. Solitude is not a punishment. It's an invitation. An invitation to meet your most authentic self. When you're alone, your fears surface. Memories return, ones you've buried under distractions. Thoughts arise, ones that were drowned out by the noise of others' opinions. This is the laboratory where your self-knowledge is born. We often ask the question, who am I? But you will never answer that question if you're constantly connected, endlessly scrolling, or staying busy just to avoid silence. Solitude forces you to stand in front of yourself. To ask questions and to answer them without help, without filters, without escape. Your soul, your beliefs, your past, everything comes to the surface. Marcus Aurelius once wrote in his private notes, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This was the Stoic wisdom. Your deepest refuge is not in the world, but within yourself. But being alone also takes courage. Because here, you will face the questions you've been running from. You will discover whether your joy is real, whether your sadness is your own, or just something society taught you to feel. You are not just alone. You are a warrior, standing on the silent battlefield of your own mind, seeking truth instead of comfort. So if you truly want to understand yourself, learn how to be alone. Embrace solitude, because it is the only place where you can see yourself clearly. Number 5, embrace your flaws, they are your design. Do you truly want to understand yourself? Then start here, treat your flaws like a mirror, not a source of shame. We live in a world obsessed with perfection. Everyone's busy hiding their failures, through filters, forced smiles, and fake confidence. But the Stoics taught us a deeper truth. Accepting your flaws is the first act of self-honesty. Seneca once said, "A wise man knows he is always incomplete." The more you learn, the more you grow, the more you'll realize. You're not finished. You're still in the making. And that's not a weakness. That's your blueprint. Your mistakes. They are not just evidence of failure. They are evidence of effort. They carry the map of your pain, your limitations, and your potential. If you turn away from your flaws, you're turning away from the very source of your strength. A flaw doesn't mean you're weak. A flaw means you tried. A flaw means you pushed yourself beyond your comfort. And most importantly, a flaw means you're still learning. In Stoic philosophy, self-knowledge doesn't mean believing you are perfect. It means knowing that you are flawed, and still choosing to grow anyway. The world will teach you that you're valuable only when you're perfect. But the Stoics knew. You become your truest self when you understand and evolve from your imperfections. If you feel anger, understand where it's coming from. If you carry fear, trace its roots. If you make a mistake, ask yourself what lesson lives within it. This is how your flaws become your design. You rebuild yourself, standing on the broken pieces, with clarity and courage. If you truly want to understand yourself, learn to love the parts of you that are cracked, bruised, or incomplete. Because that's where your real reflection lives. Number 6, your power lies not in your reaction, but in your control. Who you are is reflected in your reactions, but even deeper, it's revealed in your ability to control those reactions. Every day, you face situations beyond your control. Someone insults you. An opportunity slips away. Plans fall apart. And immediately, your mind and emotions react. But Stoicism teaches us, you are not a slave to your reactions, you are the master of your response. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." A Stoic does not merely react, they respond thoughtfully. Reaction is instant, response is deliberate. Imagine someone hurts you. If you instantly get angry, you become a slave to your emotions. But if you pause, reflect, and choose your response carefully, you exercise true mastery over your soul. The only way to understand yourself is to observe how you maintain control in difficult situations. If you cannot calm the storm within, you cannot hope to calm the storm outside. Stoic philosophy teaches, your strength is not in your anger. Your strength is in your silent control. The one who masters themselves is the one who can shape their future. So, if you want to truly understand yourself, start by noticing. How do you react? And how do you respond? Behind your reactions lie your roots. Within your responses lies your true power. The bravest step towards self-understanding is learning to control your emotions. Because true self-knowledge comes when you learn to reign over yourself. Number 7. Discover the true reason behind your desires, the first step to understanding your real self. Start by asking yourself, what do I truly want? Is it success, recognition, power, or money? Or is there a deeper desire hidden in the core of your heart, beyond these? Throughout our lives, society, values, and expectations are imposed upon us. From childhood to adulthood, we learn what we should want, what is good to desire, and what is frowned upon. But the Stoics taught us that desires that aren't truly yours only confuse you. Is what you want genuinely coming from within, or are you chasing someone else's dream? One of Epictetus's greatest lessons is, you don't truly know yourself until you understand the source of your desires. Are the desires driving your life really yours, or are they shaped by the people, family, society, and media around you? Finding the real reason behind why you want what you want is the first step to self-awareness. When you discover the true cause, your life changes. You're no longer trapped by external pressures or other people's expectations. Often, we chase success or power because we fear failure, insignificance, or shame. Have you ever wondered, do you really want that recognition, or are you just afraid of loneliness or rejection? When fear drives your desires, you lose touch with your true self. You can only free yourself from this trap of fear and societal influence when you dive deep within yourself. Ask yourself, do I really want this, or am I fulfilling someone else's wish? Are these desires truly for my life, or was I pushed into this path by society? This inquiry is not easy. It requires courage. But without this journey, you will never fully understand yourself. When you recognize your true desires, you gain control over yourself. Your life becomes more meaningful and more free. The Stoics said, freedom comes when you are no longer a slave to others' wills but understand your own. So start today, begin the journey to discover the true reasons behind your desires. Enter your inner world every day, question your wants, and face the truth. From this darkness, your real self will shine bright. A self that will never be trapped in anyone else's shadow. You will become the rightful owner of your own life. This is true self-knowledge. And this is what brings peace, strength, and fulfillment.